Hey, I'm Brian and this is the iPhone 12 mini. I'm pretty excited to get this out of its box, so let's start. Normally I'm actually not that much for small phones, but this year I had to go for the iPhone 12 mini because this is kind of like the new thing. We've seen the normal one before, we've seen the Pro, we've seen the Max, but this is really a new form factor and I'm really excited on how this feels in your hand. So let's open up this box. I already cut the seals on the side. Ooh. This is pretty standard Apple packaging right here. Get this out. Get this on the floor. As you can see, this box is already pretty tiny. I mean, if you compare this to something like this OnePlus 8T over here, the 8T is bigger than this box. And of course, because there's no charger in here, that also means that it's not as high as other phone boxes. If you compare it, for example, to this Pixel 5 box over here, which is also a pretty small smartphone by today's standards. So I've already opened that up with scissors because for this we don't need tools, so I don't have to get any tools on the table here. It's always a very satisfying unboxing experience with Apple products. Get this out of the way as well. And let's slide this off. And that's the phone. Wow. That's really small. That's adorable. But it's actually, I don't know, maybe I had the wrong thoughts about it before, but it's actually not as small as I would have expected. Like if you compare it to this, for example, of course it like dwarfs the iPhone 12 mini. But yeah, this is a really nice form factor. This is like basically perfect. Okay, let's put this to the side first. Of course, in here you don't have that much anymore, as you already know from all of the iPhone 12 unboxings you've already seen. In here you just have your paperwork, a super small Apple sticker. They're actually also smaller for the smaller iPhone. It's kind of interesting. The product red card, because this is of course a product red iPhone 12 mini. I wasn't really a big fan of the blue this year, and green was never really my color, so I was really excited to check out this red. And I think it actually looks quite nice. I mean, it's definitely a lot lighter than past product red colors, but I was also a big fan of the coral of the iPhone XR, and I was pretty bummed that they removed that with the iPhone 11, so this is actually pretty nice. And in addition to that, you of course just have your USB Type-C to Lightning cable, and no charger in the box, of course. So you will need to buy some sort of charging brick as an extra. This is the one that came with my Pixel 5, and you can of course just plug in the USB Type-C into that. And then of course you also have MagSafe as an option, also with USB Type-C. But I actually think that with the regular iPhones at least, it's not that bad that they did remove the charger from the box, because before there was just a 5-watt charger in here, which really wasn't that useful and that you probably shouldn't have used anyway. So that they removed that doesn't really do anything in my opinion, because that really kind of does save some CO2 emissions and probably does something for the environment, because it was useless anyway and you would have had to buy a 18 or 20 watt charger anyway. But with the Pro models, where they had a USB-C brick in the box before, that's of course a whole different story. I don't know if that's really that good of a thing. Okay, so let's get all of this to the side. Put there, and then let's get the peel. And that's the iPhone 12 mini. Wow, that really is a nice size. Actually, it's like, I thought it was smaller, so I'm actually kind of positively surprised that it's a bit bigger than I thought, because I think this is basically, yeah, the perfect size to carry around, because the display isn't too small, it still fits in your hand very well, but it's not as huge as this. But it's also not so small that you don't really want to use it, like, for example, the old iPhone SE was. Okay, so let's turn this on. See if it has some charge. It should. I mean, this is like basically just out of the production. And yeah, I'm also really a fan of this color. It really does look quite nice, even in this like a little bit lighter red. And I'm especially a big fan of the borders around the sides. And let's see how the MagSafe puck fits on here. That's actually pretty good. And wow, that is a lot more firm than I thought. Yeah, that is not going anywhere. Of course, there were some people who had concerns about this metal rubbing on this glass, but apparently that's not that big of an issue. I'm probably going to use this to charge this iPhone pretty much exclusively. But yeah, that's basically the unboxing of the iPhone 12 mini. I'm going to get this set up, of course, and I'm going to use this as my daily driver for the next couple of weeks. And of course, you're going to get a review, a real week with this iPhone 12 mini, with this small iPhone, especially to see how the battery life is, because that's kind of a concern for me, especially from what I've read, and especially coming from something like the Pixel 5, which is also filming this as a B cam, which has way better battery life, probably. But yeah, I'm pretty interested also because this is the first iPhone that I've like purchased myself with my own money that is not a loaner device or anything, just for review. So I'm pretty excited to actually like use this extensively as my daily driver, see how it is, because I'm of course coming from Android, and also to see how it works in the ecosystem with like the Apple Watch and so on. I'm also planning to do a video on the new Apple Watch 6 together with this. That's apparently a little bit back ordered, so that might take some time until I get that in. But I'm actually kind of excited to replace this old Fossil smartwatch because while Wear OS isn't that bad, this is definitely showing its age, and I'm excited to get a new smartwatch and see how the Apple Watch is. But yeah, okay. Wow, that's just nice. Okay, I'll see you next week in another video, probably also on this, and you know which buttons to press. Don't forget to press that follow button on Twitter. Don't forget your mask when you leave the house. I'm Brian, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.